Hi everybody.
Hi guys.
So this is going to be vlog number 7, and we're going to pick up where we left off at Milledgeville, where we did our last house sit, and talk about our trip from Milledgeville to a certain point, and then we're actually going to have a part 2 and a part 3 of this, because we did it yesterday and it turned out to be 30 minutes long, and we thought that that was a little bit too long. So we're going to break it up in 3 different parts. So although it's going to be vlog number 7, what's so funny?
So now we're going to do 3 parts, and they're each going to be 30 minutes. Come on, that's so funny.
Yeah, that's really funny. That would be 90 minutes? No. I don't think so.
Mini-series.
It might be 15 minutes. If you keep doing this stuff. All right, so we were at Milledgeville, and the winter storm Grayson kept the owners of the house, of the Milledgeville house set, kind of stranded where they were. So we agreed, actually we asked them, just stay where you're at, and we'll stay a couple more days in your house, which was fine because I still wasn't feeling great, and Yvette she wasn't great. Getting better. So we stayed, and I think it was around the 4th or the 5th of January we finally left. So we decided, I guess it was the 5th finally, we
left Friday the 5th.
The 5th, because the owners were going to be able to make it home. So we went from Milledgeville to a place called Fort Toulouse Jackson, which is in Wetumpka, Alabama. Yes. So a little bit of a route down to Wetumpka. Had some problems with the navigation, right? And one of the things we didn't have was road maps, because the whole time we were in Milledgeville, John would stop at a gas station once in a while and go in and ask for a road map, and
nobody had any.
So 3 major gas stations, and the last one we went to, they actually really did look at me like I was a crazy person. So we said, we have a AAA membership. So on our way to Toulouse, we ended up getting some groceries, and then we got out of the store, and Yvette's like, well, maybe we should just see if there's a AAA place near here. And
that was in Montgomery,
Alabama.
Yeah,
Montgomery, Alabama, and about 2 miles away there was a great center. They took care of us. They give us all kinds of road maps, because when you have a AAA membership, and we certainly aren't soliciting for them right now, but they give you all the maps for free. They give you all these points of interest books for free, and they set us up pretty good. So we went from there, and then arrived at the Fort Toulouse campground. You like that? That was pretty cool.
It was a nice campground. We got to go for a nice walk.
Got to go for a nice walk, but it was just kind of cold, like damp cold. So you know how this has been. I know, and up north it's been cold. We understand that, but it's been cold in the south through this whole trip up to the last week or so.
The last few days.
Yeah, the last few days. So then we stayed overnight there, and then we left early the next morning to. We were headed off to an alligator ranch at Moss Point in Mississippi.
Yes.
And you want to talk about what Alligator Ranch was and what they are. I mean, it's a harvest host thing. So if you don't know what a harvest host is,
Harvest Host is an organization in the States where you can stay at a farm, a winery, a historical site, and you can stay for free. You stay for free for one night. It's not a campground. You don't get power, water. You don't get any of those amenities. So you're just there, staying on somebody's gorgeous property, hopefully.
Yeah.
You get to visit a winery, anything like that, or a farm. Hopefully you'll buy something from them. So it's a nice little...
It's a win-win for everybody, because you get to see the place, you get a place to stay, and they sort of hope that you'll pass the word about them on the main site, the Harvest Host main site. You get to put reviews and talk about them, so the word of their farm gets out.
Right, but you can only stay there if you buy a membership.
Right.
It's not open to just the public.
Right.
You have to have a membership to it.
Right.
lasts for a year.
You have to apply for it and all of that. There is a fee involved. There's a fee involved for the farm that wants to join the system, and there's a fee for people like us that want to just have a place to go. And the very first place we ever stayed with the tiger was an ostrich farm overnight when we had the furnace problem way back when we first picked up the
Right.
rig.
I don't even remember what state that
It
was
was
in.
in North Carolina. All right, so we're driving down to the Alligator Ranch, and the problem was with the Alligator Ranch is when it gets so cold, the ranch itself closes because the alligators, as we found out,
Don't move.
don't move. They just go underwater or wherever they're at. If the sun's out, they might come up and lay in the sun, but they don't do anything. They might as well be dead because there's no activity. So when we got there, A, the place was closed, and B,
It was right on the main road,
It was
so we
right-
definitely were not
Yeah.
staying there with the traffic.
right. Because when you're in the camper, even though it is pretty soundproof, you don't want, cars driving back and forth like you're on the interstate. So we diverted from there, and what to do. We didn't exactly have a plan B. So John threw a dart in the road atlas and came up with a place called Buccaneer State Park, which was another, I don't know, 60 miles, 50 miles,
At least. We went all along the Mississippi coast.
which was pretty.
Gorgeous, very nice,
Yeah.
but we didn't get to stay on the water
Yeah,
either.
and
so-
there were times you were feeling like you were going through Atlantic City because you were actually going through resorts on the water. There'd be long spanses of just waterfront, bare waterfront, and then you'd come into this little town and there'd be Harrods and Circus and whatever casinos, Joe Bag of Donuts casinos, and then you'd break out to another spanse, and then all of a sudden you're at Buccaneer, kind of between casinos. And like Yvette said, they claimed on the phone that they weren't busy. Yeah, we got plenty of space. And then when we get there,
It was busy in our minds.
In our mind, it was
probably about 70, 60, 75%.
I was going
full.
for 70. I was going for
Yeah.
70% full.
So,
And you get some of these state parks, and sometimes the spots can be really far apart. Sometimes they pack you in pretty tight. This one was packed in pretty tight. But the thing that really blew us away was that it was towards the end of the day. I was tired of driving. We drove. That was a 300 plus mile day.
yeah, that was a long day.
That was a long
an
day.
all day.
So we go and park in the back. Oh, it's a quiet spot in the back, and we go around the back. And two things we didn't notice: we parked, and you get set up. You take off your shoes, and you get a drink of water, and all of a sudden there's a road like 30 feet behind us, like a little road. And then later on, after it was dark, the train starts rolling through, and the rig is literally just, the windows were shaking when the train would go by. So you'd get up in the middle of the night and to go to the bathroom or something, and you're just going back to sleep, and the thing starts shaking. So there we were in this place called Buccaneer State Park, not having a great time, but we just, that's one of the cool things that I've noticed is when we get into a place like that, we get motivated real quick in the morning.
Yeah,
So like
we're out.
You're up
Let's
at
go.
with the sun, and the nice thing about our camper is if you don't really do anything the day before, if you don't take anything out of it or anything, it's pretty easy. You pretty much make a cup of tea and you jump in the front seat and
you're gone.
and you're gone. So that's what we did. And then when we left there, we were off to, where did we go after we went to Buccaneer? Well, I guess you're going to have to find out in the second part. So that's the first part. That's the first part of vlog number 7. So stick around. So I'm going to end up posting this. Check the description down below for some additional information and description. And a web address for our blog at www.theturtleandthetiger.com. And we're going to post the second part in about 2 days. So stick around and see you then.
See ya.
Bye.